All right. All right, how's everybody doing? So, 4-star Liberty Hill wide receiver Evan Stewart has committed to the Texas Longhorns. Congratulations to him making the great decision today on committing to the University of Texas. I did very much well originally think that once the 17th of February had passed, that he would ultimately make his decision. I did hear on reports that he did hear some specific interest, did hear some things that he wanted to broaden his horizon, and hear some other things. But in fact, Texas did land Frisco wide receiver, Liberty Hill wide receiver, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds. And that is awesome, as this will absolutely bolster the Texas Longhorns back to where we need to be. Back where we need to be on the live stream. I had him as one of my 4 to 5 possible commits, 4 to 5 possible takes that the Texas Longhorns would take in the class of 2022. And boom! Here we have, holla at your boy, Evan Stewart, committing to the good. This is going to be my second live stream today, as I did do it in live stream earlier. But earlier I was talking about the class of 22 we did have going down the pike. And I did have possibly that we did have new offers out in the class of 2022. And I did talk a little bit about Malik Murphy. But I did speak about how I did think Evan Stewart might possibly hold off on his commitment. And then today, boom, just before midnight, we saw the edit, the Hayes Fawcett edit. I tried to get that edit out to you and then put that as my picture for Evan instead of just having that little small picture that I did have. But in fact, I did get that picture out to you guys, and I'm very happy to announce that 4-star wide receiver Evan Stewart has chosen the Texas Longhorns. Thumbs up to everybody. Yes, thumbs up, everybody that's in here should definitely put the thumbs up, as we got the best one. No, man, I think Evan is actually a 4-star wide receiver. Me personally, I think he's the best receiver in the class of 2022. And the reason why is going to be his electricity and his combination of both speed and route running. So a lot of these wide receivers, no, not a lot of these wide receivers, very few of these wide receivers have elite speed. Very few are going to be faster than Evan Stewart. One that comes to mind is definitely Brennan Thompson. But none of those that are going to be faster than them are going to have the combination of route running ability and body control to go along with it. I.e., Brennan Thompson is faster, but he's not quite as polished. Evan Stewart, in and out of his breaks, is absolutely electric. He is absolutely in and out of his breaks, and he does not hesitate. Once he gets the ball, he is aggressive with the ball in his hands, and he is an absolute playmaker. At 6 foot tall, 175 pounds, you don't need to be a big, massive giant in Coach Sark's offense. You don't need to be 6'4", 230, 225 pounds. Just look at D. Smith, number 6 for Alabama this past year, the Heisman winner. He was a gazelle out there in the edge. What was he? 6 foot tall, 165, 170 pounds. He looked more like a point guard more than he looked like a wide receiver. He looked more like a basketball player than he does a football player. Evan Stewart, a little bit more muscle on his frame as he's 175 pounds at 6 foot tall as a senior, or going to be in his senior year. But holla at you, boy. I'm very excited to see everybody in here. We have 7 people in here. Let's see. We got Horns Up to the Big Hulk 24. Horns up to you, sir. What else you got to say? I don't think any other roster had a chance to show what he really had with Herman's routes. Yeah, with Coach Herman, he didn't ever really seem to get his playmakers the ball, really. You know what I mean? With Coach Herman, he never really seemed to get his playmakers the best ball in the best spots for the best opportunities to make big plays. Every time we did a quick hitter near the line of scrimmage to Jordan Whittington or Jake Smith, it seemed to be really tackled very close to the line of scrimmage. Didn't seem to be very aggressive, very innovative. Or when we saw D. Smith, number 6, for Alabama, he was always boomeranging in and around the line of scrimmage, coming back to the quarterback pre-snap, lots of movement, confusing the defense. Like everybody on the field absolutely knew who was going to get the ball in Coach Sarkisian's offense, and he still got him the ball. And that is going to be the kind of sort of playmaker that we're having in Evan Stewart. That is going to be the kind of sort of guy that we got in Evan Stewart. And what questions you have about him? I have the Texas Longhorns in the class of 22 possibly taking 4 wide receivers, possibly 5. Evan Stewart now is going to be the second one on the board now. We did have Faison Wilson, who then decommitted during the whole just a few weeks after the Quinn Ewers debacle, and of course now we have Amani Winfield, and now today I added my personal number 1 overall wide receiver in the class of 2022, Evan Stewart. So I'm happy to announce that, man. I was just about really to start laying it down to go to bed. I was really just looking at my phone, just about to go to bed. I just kind of sort of got my last little late night snack in, and then I was just about to head it on down to the pillow. And then lo and behold, probably just the same thing you guys just saw. I saw the post notification on my phone. I looked up, boom, and then we have it, Evan Stewart. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Texas. This is going to be definitely a sign of good things to come. It is definitely a sign that the good things are coming. It is definitely a sign that Texas is now drawing primetime players and primetime prospects. We're getting just the skill positions right now as the folks, but there is 16 of y'all now. If you're new to the program, folks, my name is AK. I'm the owner, operator, moderator. I run the Eyes on Texas program here. If you are new to this, if you just type it in Evan Stewart and boom, you pops into the live stream here. Welcome to it as I try to produce college football content, Texas Longhorn content, and Texas high school football content pretty much every single day of the week here on the Texas Longhorns content. So if you do like this kind of sort of stuff, please drop a like, and please subscribe to the channel and let everybody else know. HEC892, I love this pickup, man. This guy right here was the number 1 wide receiver on the board in all the class for me. I believe he's ranked number 4, possibly number 5. He's ranked number 6 nationally, to be quite honest with you. But, man, with me, he's my rank number 1 for his ability to have the combination with the speed and the route running ability, and really, honestly, his flat-out athleticism, his electricity. I believe he's an electric playmaker from Liberty High School in Frisco, Texas. Evan Stewart, he is just on the fringe of a 4 to 5 star player. I did have someone just ask that question. I thought he was a 5-star player. He is on that fringe, as he did move up to the 36th ranked national player, as 247 Sports and all the other major composite. They do rank 32 5-star players. And the main reason for that being 32 is that there are 32 NFL teams, and each one of those 32 composite 5-star players is supposed to represent one of those first-round draft picks. And he's ranked number 36 by 247 Sports, which is going to be the one that I do follow, the number 9 in all of the state of Texas. The wide receiver, he is ranked number 6, but, man, he is number 1 on my board. Who else would I like to see in the wide receiver class? I would love to see any combination. I believe we're going to get 2, if not 3 of these guys talking about Coleman. We're trying to, I believe we'll get Coleman out of Missouri as well, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri area. I believe we'll also get C.J. Williams out of Modern Day High School as well. Going to be that connection from Coach Sark. And the athlete prospect, I would love to see him lining up right next to Evan Stewart, lined up in that slot. I would love to see Brennan Thompson, the athlete prospect from Spearman, the fastest guy that I've personally seen in, well, not personally seen, personal times that I've seen numbers posted on any recruit in the 20,000, in a 21 class and in the 22 class. And, of course, the 23 guys, they're just really kind of sort of up and coming. They're just really just now coming down the pike, so not a lot of those times are coming in. So as far as I'm concerned, Brennan Thompson is going to be the fastest one, and I would love him to be the 5th wide receiver on this board here. But let me know your opinions, guys, and what you guys think of Evan. Let me know what you guys – Evan Coleman is most definitely a 5-star. Brennan Thompson, he was an OU lean as a Spearman is in that Panhandle area. It's going to be very close to Oklahoma, right here in that Panhandle area, and he was a OU lean. I do believe if you look at the 247 Sports composite site that it did still show an OU for his crystal ball. The new staff has definitely been working on it. The new staff has definitely been relaying back and forth. And look, just like I said earlier, with these big-time playmaker wide receivers are going to be coming in, filling up these spots. These spots on the wide receiver positions are going to be filling up very, very fast. So you got to come get your spot, man. I'm telling you. And boom, Evan decided to pop. The reason why he decided to pop, the date was extended. The dead period was extended out. No visits to universities. He can't go out to see the University of Georgia. He can't go out to Eugene. He can't go out to Oregon. So that's the reason why he decided to make this commitment. I believe that he always wanted to go to the Texas Longhorns, and that he was only just trying to see what else was out there whenever the Texas Longhorns were going to be his number one choice, because he has been in a Texas Longhorn lean for quite some time now, or ever since pretty much, well, at least ever since Coach Sark has been hollering at his ear, because he's been seeing what them boys up in Alabama's been doing. He's been seeing, and he wants to come do it, and he wants to stay at home. I want them to really be loyal to the soil, and really mean it. I definitely want to see more DFW kids. Armani is going to be a DFW kid. He is Louisville High School, just a couple of miles on down the road from me, about 3-4 cities next to me is going to be Louisville Fighting Farmers down there. The DFW plays hard. Really what we need to do in DFW is really need to get that DeSoto pipeline, and we need that Duncanville pipeline. Samples really was big in there. Reginald Samples is the coach there, and then Rashard Samples. Whenever we had him, he's a big time recruiter for us, and of course he is straight killing it up there in SMU, and probably the biggest reason why they did get their biggest class up there in SMU land. But big time opportunity for them, and this is going to be a big time opportunity for everybody to be introduced to the channel, man. Very much appreciate the sports if you guys would subscribe to the channel, as I do try to produce content for you guys every single time. Definitely needs to commit ASAP or lose the spot. Yep, I'm telling you, you definitely need to commit to Texas right now or very soon if you're a wide receiver. I'm pretty sure, just like when you see in the NFL draft, right? Once the top tackle starts going, other teams, they start trading up to get that tackle. There's a run on tackles. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe we're going to start seeing that same effect, but in college recruiting, right? Texas only has 4 or 5 spots. Sark went on to say whenever he first got onto campus that Texas had too many wide receivers. And I believe that we're going to take 4 to 5, and boom, 2 out of the first 6 commitments are wide receivers. So I definitely think it's going to be come take your spots. That these kids are going to come up, and it's time to come jump up, and it's time to come up and jump and take your spots. And I think that is what happened tonight. The dead period was extended. He can't go out to see universities. It's always been in his heart. He cannot wait on it no longer. He's got that TikTok video going, man. Evan Stewart, if you don't know, he's whatever TikTok is. I know it's some sort of sharing video site, website, app thing. I do know it's short videos, I do believe, and he has over 1 million subscribers, over 100 million followers, and I do know that you make some sort of revenue on that with ads and such as far as like your clothing and stuff like that. You get ad revenue for your clothing sponsorships and stuff like that. So I'm not quite sure what he's doing on that, but I do know that he is a big-time TikToker. If they transfer, they better have a plan B. LOL. Yeah, it's called. I guess there's two terms. That it used to be called processed or recruited over. So like these wide receivers that aren't quite as talented, aren't a big, strong, fast, or the exact same type that Coach Sark is really, really looking forward to get. That is really looking to get. That fits his style, that fits his scheme, that fits how he wants to go about things. They might pick it up and pack it on. That might happen. As we all know, the transfer portal is real. Without a doubt, 100%, the transfer portal is real. Last time I checked, the University of Tennessee had 24 transfers out because, of course, they had the giant debacle with them handing out money in McDonald's bags to get caught for it. Now they're going to have their big giant sanctions by the NCAA, and they're going to have to do what they're going to have to do. But yeah, so the transfer portal is real, and we might see some individuals being transferred out. I believe that's what the big Hulk 2-4 is talking about there. I don't know if I sound just right, just exactly how I do. I don't know if I have my Go mic on or just my regular mic that's on my normal computer. So I do hope I do sound fine. I don't have anybody complaining about the sound right now. But Evan Stewart, as a prospect, he is absolutely electric. He is absolutely one of the fastest guys in the state of Texas. So let's just see what the scouting report, and let's read a little bit about his measurables. So he is a track athlete. The triple jump, he did a 47 feet 9-inch triple jump. That's going to be his best. The one long jump, 24 feet 6 inches. So he's a tremendously twitch athlete. 10.74 in the meter in the 100 meters. So anything sub 11 in high school period is going to be elite speed. So the 10.74 is very much obviously clearly underneath that 11-second threshold, doubling it up into 221.08. So once he's up to that top speed, he can absolutely sustain it. Ridiculous. So Gabe Brooks of the Midlands region, he just kind of he has to say adequate size receiver with lean athletic build. He can play from the outside and the slot. Dangerous vertically in the run after the catch scenarios. Explosive ability in the open field. That's what I was talking about. Owner of one of the best field profiles in the 2022 class. That 200 is pretty sick, to be quite honest with you. He talked about how fast he is, the triple jump. Athletic, does transition to the gridiron, gets on top of corners quickly and fast, flashes that runaway speed, shows good athleticism, shows acceleration, quick-footed, and should process a high ceiling as a route runner. Springing in 50-50 situations, so whenever it's a Mr. Go Get It situation, when the ball is in the air, Evan Stewart's going to come get it, and that's what you really want from your guys. You competitive nature. You want them to have that competitive in them. And whenever the ball is in the air, because a lot of these times the quarterback is under a lot of pressure and a wide receiver just needs to come back to the ball, scrambling, and you just need to make a play for your quarterback. And he wants to know that your wide receiver has those big, strong hands and will have the competitive nature. See it February 18th, commits to the University of Texas. Awesome. Evan Stewart, and he is ranked as the 6th overall wide receiver in this class of 2022, but he is number 1 in all estimation. He is a true X, not a Y, a Z. The guy that is split out there all by himself on an island, doesn't need anybody else to get it open, can create his own separation, can get off the ball all absolutely by himself, can be schemed to get open, and can get off the ball and can get open by himself. You read it right there. The route running ability, the playmaking ability, the 50-50 springy ability. That's what you want from a guy. You don't want the guy with the ball in the air from not to have that competitive nature. It doesn't really matter if you're 6'4", you're 6 foot tall. The man who wants the ball is going to get the ball the most. It's the fighting the dog a lot of the times. It's your ability to time the jump, natural ability to time the jump. And look, man, if that guy can jump 24 feet 6 inches in high school, just imagine what he's going to do on the football field, on the 40 for who? For the Texas Longhorns, Evan Stewart becoming the 6th member in the class of 2022. Wonder where this is going to put us up in the rankings. Let's see if that is up, as that is a good question. Because I know before today we were ranked number 7th, and recruiting. Team ranking. So now we are 5th, right above Oklahoma and Penn State. So Penn State has 7 commits, and they are ranked number 4th, and they're 5 points ahead of us, and we are quite some ways ahead of Oklahoma right now. So we have 144 points accumulative, and the University of Oklahoma is at 129. So with this commitment, we bump up 2 spots in the rankings, but that doesn't really matter because we're just all about getting playmakers, and we get another playmaker in Evan Stewart. So holla at you, boy, man. What does everybody think about this? What questions y'all have? What interests y'all have? Come on, man. There are 24 of you. Let's say horns up. I've already said what's up to Big Hole. Said what's up to HEC. Garrett Fields, how you doing, man? Horns up to you, sir. What do you got? Would you take Coleman over C.J. Williams? To be honest with you, I'm going to like C.J. Williams just a little bit more over Coleman. Those guys are very close. Coleman is a little bit more raw of an athlete. He might have a little bit more slightly more ceiling than CJ does, but I believe CJ is a little more polished, a little more ready to go. Both really close as far as where they are ranked by their sights, and I also hold them both very, very close as well. They're both also the same type of receiver. It's not like one's a speed guy and one is a possession guy. Is they both also tended to play the same kind of position and made the same kind of sort of plays on the field there for Texas. But good question, good comp in there, comping those 2 players. But yeah, without a doubt, I'm very excited about it. 2, 4, and wow, 11 to what Garrett Field you take? That Sark, a player that can make a play anywhere. That's you've got to be able to make your playmakers. You just make it easy. Why make the game hard? Why make the game hard? Move them around. It makes your quarterback a little more easier. He can see the defense a little bit more. The defense has to tilt their hand a little bit more right. The more you move, the defense more has to move and adjust, and thus showing you, the offense, a little bit more what they're going to do. It allows you to get a little more open. The iron sharpens the iron. Both sides, the bread is buttered, and everything runs a little bit more smoothly, and you get that extra 3, 2, 4, 5, 6 more inches of separation, and your guy is open. You'll be able to complete that play. If you have that gazelle on the edge, if you have that explosive playmaker, that's all you need, and then you'd be capable enough to make that play and get those touchdowns and elevate your program. And this is what this type of prospect is he is a program elevating prospect, period, the end. Horns up to you, Ken Crockett. Horns up to you, sir. I don't know if I've seen you in one of my live streams before, man. So horns up to you, sir. Zachary Delgado. The only thing I kind of worry about is top tier defensive guys. Top tier defensive guys, defensive tackles. We've been getting really close to Christopher Ross. We've put out a couple of new offers for weak side defensive end. I really kind of sort of went over that earlier on in the program, kind of sort of earlier on in the program, because as this is my second live stream that I have. These are all these are 2000. Yeah, as this is my second live stream to actually do today, to be quite honest with you, because that's how we roll it out here in the Eyes on Texas program, is that we will do up to 2. But yeah, Christopher Ross, the defensive tackle, he's a North Shore 6'3", 263, 270 pounds. Texas is relatively close to a real deal in here with them. We also did have the recent linebacker Johnson commitment out of Arlington Martin there, so that was going to be a big deal for us as well. Dre Bledsoe from Bremen, Texas. Class of 22 defensive tackle, so that's going to be another one. Players, we're also close safeties. So one of the from LSU. So we are getting a couple of those. To be quite honest with you. Yeah, so more 22 guys coming down the pipe. You know, I'm not really going to go big all into them because I just did do another live stream earlier today. But Larry Turner Gooden, another guy coming out of California that could be make headways for Texas, that you might be hearing that name, the name that's not been hearing all that much, that could turn on for the University of Texas Longhorns. But yep. Is Denver Harris a possible get? He is definitely a possible get. He is one who is if you want to erase and talk about the Denver Harris timeline, hardcore lean coming into Texas. And what happened? Texas had that bad season. It looked very rocky. And therefore, once the shelf started to go off as far as is that coaching staff going to be there, and then really once Jay Valai lost his position on the defensive side of the ball as one of the secondary coaches, that kind of sort of stopped the momentum for Denver Harris. And now, since the new staff has come on and the new defensive side of the ball staff has came on, they reinitiated, offered, reconnected, and since building on there. So since he is still crystal ball to Texas, a lot of the guys, they've lowered their confidence. So if that kind of sort of helps you talk about, is Denver Harris a possible get? Without a doubt, he's definitely a possible get. He's someone who is definitely high up on the board. Man, what is he, like the 4th or 5th guy in the whole entire class of 2022? Without a doubt. Yes, sir. Thumbs up. There's 11 thumbs up. Very much appreciate that. As there are 31 total of us in here. If you are new to the program, I do try to do this kind of sort of content. I do live streams for you. I do highlight videos, monologue videos, and I do produce college football content, Texas content, and high school football content for you guys. So very much appreciate that. What else we got here for us? Thompson or Williams? Who would you prefer, Brennan Thompson or Williams? Okay, so therefore, if you were talking about Brennan Thompson or Williams, I would take Brennan Thompson, and I would take him because he is going to be the difference maker between those two guys, and he is going to be more of the unicorn. That speed is real. That speed is legit. You cannot teach that speed. That's something that you don't have to scheme. That speed will always be there for him. So between those two players, with them being completely two different players, and with Texas not having that unadulterated speed, and with that unadulterated speed not being, with it being so rare, I would take Brennan Thompson. But without a doubt, Brennan Thompson is viewed as an athlete prospect, but I view him as a wide receiver. I don't see him very much on the offensive side of the ball. The film I saw personally, I didn't see very much of aggressive tackling, and I only saw his sophomore film of really what he did on his when he played defense on stuff like that. There really wasn't that much. I don't know on much as far as other than as a slot receiver, where he's really much viewed as. I'm talking about Brennan Thompson, but he, out of those two, he is the Williams or CJ Williams or Brennan Thompson. He is the lesser polished of the two wide receivers. But in his lower division in Spearman, he scores every third time he touches the ball. If he gets to intercepts the ball on defense, or punt return, kick return, he's pretty much going to take it to the house. That speed is real. It's not him running away from these Class 2A guys, as he does have the time speed. He has the clock speed. Just absolutely you can't coach it, and that's going to be the reason why I would choose Brennan Thompson over C.J. Williams. I would say C.J. Williams is more likely. Murphy said him and Williams are going to play together. Yep. That's one of the things that I did. I did one of a video or a live stream earlier, and I talked about Murphy and Williams being linked up. And that's what you got to do if you're a quarterback. There's one of our main guys, the one main guy in the class of 2022 who is doing the majority of the recruiting is going to be Jaden Blue, our top running back prospect in this class. He is the top running back for us in the class of 2022 and in the state of Texas, as he was our #1 get, and now we're looking for a smaller guy or another recruit to accompany with him, to pair along with him in this class. I like Zach Evans. He's now looking like it's closer every day as he's getting closer and closer to the University of Notre Dame. Talking about Zach Evans, but as far as recruiting for Texas for other commits, you're definitely Jaden Blue out of the Houston area. He's definitely going to be the one trying to get the offensive lineman. He's going to be the one talking about Banks and Dewberry, all those Houston guys, the Houston offensive linemen. Armani Winfield has been very vocal coming out of the DFW area, but with Evan Stewart, it's going to be interesting because he has all this TikTok influence. I do believe that the majority of his influence and the majority of his social media is going to be on TikTok. I'm not sure how vocal he is on a Twitter and everything else in comparison. So as far as him pulling, he's definitely going to have the most influence. Without him being Frisco, that's going to be that DFW area. So if we get that influence coming from Armani and Evan Stewart from the DFW area, and then of course the Houston area from Klein, from Jaden Blue and others, as Jaden Blue is going to be our biggest majority vocal leader, and of course with the commitment of our quarterback, our linchpin, our keystone to this commitment to this class in Malik Murphy. So he's naturally going to draw. But what Malik Murphy is going to need, and someone just alluded to it talking about the big guys, is we just need elite O-linemen. You know what I mean? McClay, Lab, Leons. You know what I mean? Leons. You're right. Elite linemen, because if you're definitely a pro style quarterback, you're gonna need what? You want to be out there grilling burgers. You want to be out there making chicken sandwiches. You know what I mean? You want to be back out there keeping your jersey clean. If you're not one of these scrambling guys, if you're not a dual threat quarterback, you're gonna need those offensive linemen to keep you upright, and that's what we need. These guys are all fine, but as I have been stating, I do believe to get the elite offensive linemen, we're going to need to prove it on the field. I believe that we get some of these in-state guards. Ernest Green out of California is an offensive lineman, a guard linked up with Malik Murphy. Possibly could get him in this class, but elite offensive tackles, I believe we might have to prove it on the field. I feel like Campbell is almost a lock, if not close. I believe that too. He has been a lead ever since I started this channel almost a year ago. DJ Devon Campbell, who's an absolute monster, has been linked up with the Texas Longhorns. So you think Campbell is next? I hope he's next. I hope everybody's next. I want everybody. Who we get? We getting everybody. We getting everybody. You know, that's how I feel. Everybody. You know what I mean? I want all the best kids. I want them all to be great kids. I want them to part of my university, our university that we all support and love here on this channel, man. And that is really what I want. Whether it's out-of-state kids or if it's in-state kids, because traditionally the top talent has been plucked out. They've been going to Alabama. They've been going to Oklahoma. They've been going to Ohio State. So if the top talent wants to go and they want to leave the state and we have to go in-state, the Texas High School Coaches or the Texas High School Coaches Association cannot get mad at coaches from the University of Texas for doing so. In my personal opinion, they're doing what they just have to do. And doing so, what they have to do is go get out-of-state talent from a top out-of-state talent if that's what it has to be, because all the in-state talent is going elsewhere. Tell us about the pole assassin. I don't know. Why don't you tell me about the pole assassin? I don't know. Clearly, Ewers' parents are on board. I don't know what you're talking. I guess you're talking about Quinn Ewers' parents. I don't know much about with the whole Quinn Ewers situation. I've left that alone ever since ever since he put up on Twitter. Changed up his new emoji of the deer with the Buckeye. Ever since he did that, I've left that kind of sort of situation, left that situation alone. Oh, Banks's girlfriend is a stripper. Oh, if Ewers wants to flip, do we take him? With Ewers, we ride that out as long as it goes. Until he up on Ohio State or wherever he's committed to at the, we pursue Ewers and we accept Ewers, and that is that. He's a Texas homegrown. He is the #1 overall guy, and that is how this game plays. And if Malik Murphy is a commit during that time, he will understand it. He will be happy about it. Would you be happy about it? He might not be happy about it, or it might be iron sharpens iron. He might appreciate the competition. I doubt that would be the case, and he'd probably pick it up, pack it up, move it elsewhere. But did the Malik Murphy commitment push the timeline on Quinn Ewers? Maybe. But talking about Quinn Ewers, I'm not really pushing towards that. I'm not really an envelope that I'm pushing. It's not really something that I'm really talking about. Not really making videos about that. Because once he put that Ohio State hat on top of that deer, that's just a quiet message for him saying, just be left alone quietly and respectably. So that's me doing so. Yep, Mark Leopard is so sick about here. You know what I mean? I'm happy with who we got. You know what I mean? Malik posted on Twitter that we have someone committing soon. So I guess he was talking about. Evan Stewart, but he's not necessarily connected to Evan Stewart as far as I know. So Malik could be talking about something else. Hopefully he's talking about someone else. I would love to have more commitments, but I did say that I thought that we would, and again, not to reiterate this point and to toot my own horn, but I did say I thought that we would see some more commitments coming down ever since the 17th, whenever I forget the organization that it's called, made the decision to extend the dead period, to extend the period in which these recruits cannot go on campus officially and be brought around and wine and dined on these campuses throughout these facilities. They can't go see the football field. They can't go see the locker rooms. They can't go see the dorms. Officially, they have to go on these private self-guided tours. And if you're an out-of-state kid, you're not going to Georgia. If you're an out-of-state kid and you're in Frisco, you're not necessarily going to go visit Clemson University. You're not going to go to Eugene, Oregon. And that's what's happening here. They can't make these official visits, so they're not making these official visits. So where they thought they were going to go, where their heart was going to go before they thought they had to broaden their horizons, they're sticking with their choice. And that is what's going to happen here. Who else is going to be on that train? I'm not quite 100% sure. I was certain earlier that it was going to be Evan Stewart. I looked up some different information that said something a little bit differently. So I did speak about that earlier today, but I was wrong. But holla at you, boy, because we got Evan Stewart. And again, I'm not saying we getting everybody, but we getting everybody. And tonight we picked up Evan Stewart, 4-star wide receiver, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. Liberty High School in Frisco, man. And I'm just so excited. And these are the kind of recruits, the top tier recruits that are game changers. Like you saw number 6. You saw what he did in the championship game. He just got the ball on the sideline and he just gazelled his way to the end zone. No one can touch him. Just so smooth, so smooth. The way that he caught the ball, the way he just juked and just very smoothly, just naturally flowed into the end zone. And that's what these top talent guys can do. They just have the ability to do so. It is absolutely amazing. And he is one of these top guys, and he is going to be another addition to this class. As he is our 6th member of this class, which brings us up to number 5, as I did say, as we are right above Oklahoma and right beneath Penn State, which is excellent. I'll get some more water. I'll be right back. Ugh. What do you guys think? Who do you think will be the next commit? Who do you think will be the next commit? What out-of-state commit do you want to be the next commit? Do you think it is going to be C.J. Williams, or do you think it's going to be the offensive lineman from Westlake? Robertson is a big-time lean. If I would say if we're close to any offensive lineman, I would say that it would be him. I'm talking about .4. He's right around 300 pounds. But he is going to be a guard, Connor Robinson from Austin Westlake. He is going to be one of the guys who's part of that championship squad, the back-to-back state championship for Austin Westlake. He is probably going to rise up ever so slightly in the rankings, but he is a 3-star guy, nationally ranked at 757. So there is 27 offensive guards that are going to be ranked above him, but Connor Robinson did linked up. And look, Coach Flood likes him. Coach Flood has experience turning first-round draft picks. At Alabama, they got the 5-star guys, they got the 4-star guys, and they got the 3-star guys. But they all played, and some of them also all became draft picks. Just look at Matt Jones. Matt Jones is going to be a 3-star quarterback coming in from Jacksonville, Florida. And coming out, he is going to be the first-round draft pick potentially, or a high second round. But also something else that we need to make a headway on, and talking about wide receiver and talking about Zach Rice. Yeah, the offensive tackle from somewhere in Virginia. In the Virginia area, he is an absolute beast. I believe he is the #1 overall tackle in the whole entire class. Actually, he's just an absolutely monster. Gunnar Givens, I know he's be the ones that were just kind of sort of getting to know her. You know what I mean? I guess if you're talking to the girl and getting to know the girl and talking about comparing a commitment and a relationship, if you're talking about a recruitment and a commitment from a recruit, I'd say with him, we're kind of sort of on the first date. You know what I mean? I believe we're just kind of sort of getting to know him, talking about Gunnar Givens. Zach Rice, with him being so highly touted, Gunnar Givens is very highly touted as well, but with Zach Rice being so highly touted as one of the out-of-state guys, Coach Flood has definitely been all over and been in communication with him. Horns up to you, D. Taylor, without a doubt, and totally forgot about Hulley, most likely him. Yeah, of course, you're talking about the safety prospect whose brother is going to be a linebacker. So he is probably going to be one of the hardcore lean. I wish that we would get these safety prospects, as I believe that we are going to get 2 safety prospects in this 22 class, but we do need to get those elite defensive backs. We do need to get those elite cornerbacks, as we definitely need those. We did have, it was Jalen Green off of the top of my head, who left in the transfer portal. So we still got the Shark out there, Deshaun Jameson, number 5, coming in as a starter, and still going to be our best cornerback, but definitely need those top end corners. Definitely need the big ugly guys. Number 1 overall, without a doubt, is we need the offensive line. We cannot whiff on offensive line recruiting 2 years in a row. With Majors and Kirchek coming up from the South Lake Carroll offensive lineman that we got in 2020. He played well and developed well. Of course, Jake Majors at center. Derek Kerstetter from being center, so we can go out to kick out to guard or tackle, which he's a little bit better natural position for him. Good thing about Kerstetter is he can play pretty much all over the line, but definitely good that Majors did step up and get a little bit of playing time late in the season. But we definitely need to hit on offensive line recruiting. We can absolutely not miss on offensive line recruiting 2 years in a row. 33 of y'all in here. Very much appreciate it, guys, as it is 12:45 here in the Central, because that's where I live, here in Tejas. Hope everybody's staying warm. I know everybody's electricity is now back on. Pretty much there's still actually probably a couple thousand people still in the Metroplex area still without power. Hope everybody's doing good there. But everybody here in the live stream seems to be doing all right. It's about Texas, and I'm here for you, brother. Offensive still, guys. We need with the D line. On the D lineman, I would say probably the closest guy that we are is going to be Chris Ross. He's going to be the defensive tackle from North Shore. All right. Zach said the top 3 positions we need is offensive, D line, and inside linebacker. I think offensive line definitely need. We definitely hit very hardcore with Alfred Collins in a defensive line in 2020. So as a freshman, he definitely stepped up and played well. I like what we have coming in with Baron Sorrell. Definitely love him. I definitely love from the Port Arthur strong side defensive end that we have Jordan Thomas. The class of 21. I like the kids coming in. So to be replenishment, to say that a defensive line need is number 2. I might contest that, but linebacker, I'd say you're definitely light up there. I might flip those 2. If I had an argument with needs, I would say those. Snap, man. There's so many guys into the portal when it comes to answers, portal answers with those guys. The transfer portal is pretty cut and dry. It's pretty crazy, and those guys are just getting who they can get. And I'm not really sure who Texas is communicating with on the transfer portal right now. To be very, very quite honest with you, I do know might not. I believe we're probably done because we have four more spots that we could potentially fill. But I did read somewhere that Sark doesn't want to fill a spot just to fill a spot, because that could be someone that potentially that could be a spot that could be potentially taken with someone that we more covet in the 22 class. So that right there would be the reasoning behind that. But Ernest Green, offensive line, he is linked up with Malik Murphy, and that's someone who we definitely need to recruit other people in that class. And again, I can't reiterate the point. The fact that he is being a pro-style quarterback definitely needs the offensive lineman, the big uglies, to protect him, so he can go be out there. So he can be out there, call his girlfriend, check her out, see how she's doing while he's out there in the pocket. Make her a sandwich and whatnot. Have the time to read the defense and complete the passes. Being a pro-style quarterback, definitely need that. So Malik Murphy, I know that we're going to get the top-tier wide receivers. I know that we're going to get the top-tier skill position players. One of the positions that I do want us to start looking at for the class of 23, from Austin Westlake. I'm not quite sure why we haven't recruited this player as heavily, as hard that we have offered him, but he's the beast. He is listed as a tight end prospect in the class of 23, and that's Jaden Greathouse. Absolute monster. Was a freshman All-American, played a freshman his varsity season for Austin Westlake on a championship team squad. So he played 6A division as a freshman. Jaden Greathouse put up numbers on a corner that went to McNeese State. I know that's not a top university, but that is a freshman going against a varsity senior corner that went to college, that went to university. So in addition to landing Evan Stewart, this will attract other playmakers, and from, let's call him a tight end, Jaden Greathouse, but really he is just an unguardable force out there as he plays a split out wide tight end position out there in Austin Westlake, but really is absolutely unguardable. And during the stretch, the final stretch for the Chaparrals during their playoff run to the state championship, back-to-back state championships, he was a innovative part of their offense, and a big-time playmaker for them. So in addition to Stewart, hopefully that can attract other talent coming down the path that can see their spot, and they want to see their star shine the brightest for Texas under Coach Sark's offense in the near future. He's only a sophomore, but he seems a little small for it. I would say he's bigger than 6'2", 205. Let's see what I have him listed as. Talking about Jaden Greathouse. I have him at, I think he's 6'3", 230. That's where I'm putting that. There he is. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, wow. Well, he's at 206. 6'2", 206, wide receiver. Yeah, he is. He looks a lot bigger than that, to be quite honest with you, but you're looking at him, 6'2", 206, class of 23, and he is listed as a wide receiver on there. But if you look for him at his prospect and where he's projected as a tight end. So let's see if the scroll down. Can you wait on? But talk about his production. So Jaden Greathouse in his freshman season, he had 47 receptions, 715 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So double-digit touchdowns as a freshman. Backed it up as a sophomore, 69 receptions, 1,145 yards receiving, and 13 touchdowns. So in 2 years, he's accumulated almost 2,000 yards receiving and over 20 touchdowns. Man, that is straight balling. But I did think that he was bigger than that, to be quite honest with you. Whatever, I'm wrong sometimes. But as a prospect, I definitely like Jaden Greathouse. Definitely would like us to pursue him further. I do read up on about these re-offers and whatever commits and recruits have on their Twitter feeds. They put on there the re-offered and they post that. So I haven't seen that from him, and I haven't read any literature that says that there is lots of communication with him, but with him. But I would definitely like to see that increased. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, and it is a great name. I agree 100%. It's a great name. You know what I mean? Jaden Greathouse, from great family. I believe he's linked up. I don't know if it's currently with one of the Dallas Cowboys staff members, office members, or whatnot, like his uncle is or whatever else have you. But some Dallas Cowboy link. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was, but I did remember reading about it. Yeah. Maybe what it was whenever I saw his freshman freshman stats, his freshman measurables, they just exaggerated. They did whenever I was in high school, whenever I was 6'4", 220. So let's just go ahead and assume that. Or I could have been wrong. You know what I mean? I see a lot of numbers or whatever. How many wide receivers do we take in this class? Like I've been saying, I believe it's 4 to possibly 5. So of those 4 to 5, obviously my number one guy in the class, period. He is number 6 rated in the class. is Evan Stewart, but my number 1 guy is Evan Stewart. Clearly, we have Armani Winfield. I would also love us to take C.J. Williams, Coleman, and then Brennan Thompson as the 5. But if you were to switch out Coleman or Thompson, I would prefer Thompson because he's a different type of prospect, just with that pure, unadulterated speed. So, yeah. Dallas signed Dak already. That's like the longest thing going in Dallas DFW sports. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And it's over 1 year, isn't it? Because he wants to sign a 4-year contract, and we want it to be a 5-year contract. Really not arguing about the money. I think they're both set about right around for $40 million a year. It's just really what Dak wants to do is he wants to be able to double up that money again and double up that contract and get it in 4 years and sign and renegotiate in 3 instead of sign it for 5 and then renegotiate in 4. So really, that's what Dak's trying to do is he's just trying to double it up and double it up his contract that way. Smart, man. You got to do what you got to do. I think maybe 3 or 4 wide receivers transfer out. We've had some players transfer out. Probably, I would say the largest transfer out big name player we'd have is going to be Keontae Ingram. I don't know if y'all would agree with that statement, but he was going to be our number 2 running back this year because we know who's going to be toting the ball next year for the Longhorns, who's going to get the lion's share. 1,000-yard rusher every single year. Coach Sark has been a offensive coordinator, and every single year that he's been a defensive coordinator. So definitely going to give the ball to number 5. Definitely going to have a 1,000-yard rusher every single year that Coach Sark is going to be a part of the program. Kai Money. Oh, man. I really hope we don't see Schooler and Kai Money. The thing with Schooler, I like Schooler as an athlete. He looks like a big, strong athlete. Whenever you see him out there with the ones, he looks like he at least should be out there, at least physically, with his size, his strength, and his build. But whenever you see Kai Money, he just doesn't, Like it's a great story. Walk-on player. I believe he earned a scholarship. It's absolutely great. But we run plays for him whenever the ones are out there. We run plays for him whenever it's still game time. We're running plays for him whenever we're behind the 3rd and 4th quarter. That's not Kai Money time. Kai Money time is whenever we're up 25 points with 9 minutes left. Kai Money at all, but why did he go to USC? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head why he did go to USC. But he had ties. Our old pub guys went to USC. One of the staffers went to USC because I know that they made a big deal about it because he still announced it while he was still getting paid by the University of Texas. So that's what made a big deal about it. But there's 40 people in here, so let's talk about here. Let's talk about Evan Stewart, the 4-star commit to our Texas Longhorns. As holla at you, boy, here at the Eyes on Texas channel, as we talk about the Texas Longhorns pretty much every single day of the week. And what did we get today? We got an explosive playmaker, 6 foot tall, 170 pounds, from Frisco Liberty High School in the DFW area, the DFW Metroplex here in Texas. Great route running speed, athletic, 2-sport athlete, 3-sport athlete as he plays basketball as well, I'm told. But track is really what I'm talking about here. Is he is fast. He has timed sub 11 in the 100 meters. It is 10.74 according to the site here. And he can double that up and run a great time in the 200. Can jump 24 feet, 6 inches. So he has that great twitch, explosive ability. But what I like it is he is that true Z receiver, and I love it what he can see and do in Sark's offense as Devontae Smith, number 6, was absolutely explosive all year for Alabama. Every wide receiver was explosive all year for Alabama. If their other wide receiver hadn't got hurt, he probably would have been the high. He could have been the number one wide receiver. Is his name Ruggs? Judy Ruggs. So actually, everyone is a playmaker here for Alabama, and hopefully will be for Sark, and hopefully Evan Stewart will be one of those playmakers. As it's time to come get your spot. It is time to get your spot if you're a wide receiver, if you're one of these top tier athletes, if you're one of these top tier guys. It is time to come get your spot. And like I said, someone asked me how many do I think that we're going to take, and my answer is 4 to possibly 5. They probably have the number on their board. They probably have them all ranked on their board. University of Texas is. It's going to be all those 4 that I did speak about. Possibly maybe Jay Fair, maybe possibly on their board a little bit higher, but that's going to be mine. Recently linked up to. That's linked up to Murphy. Oops, that's 23 guys. That's linked up to Murphy, and I'm going to butcher his name. Excuse me. Is going to be from California as well, from Anaheim, California, and he is a 5-star wide receiver, and that's Teatror McMillan. He is a 5-star, number 14th overall rated, and he's a 2nd overall recruit as a wide receiver. As wide receiver number 1 is not on my board because he hates the University of Texas as far as I'm concerned, and that is Caleb Burton, as he put the horns down symbol on social media and posted it. So I'm not all about that life. So I'm not all about anybody else's life that's about that. So Caleb Burton not going to be on my board. So another one that could possibly be up on the Texas Longhorns board that might be one of these final 4 to possibly 5 commits on the skill position, the wide receivers, is going to be McMillan, as I butcher his first name. Yep. Waddle, not Ruggs. Yeah. Thank you very much. Waddle, not Ruggs. Was Ruggs the guy that was drafted the year before? Probably, right. I believe Ruggs was the guy that was drafted, and Waddle was actually faster than number 6 D Smith as well. So he was viewed as the speed guy, and he busted up his leg, and couldn't wait to get back on that field for Alabama in that championship game. Absolutely amazing. But I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. There's 33 of y'all in here. There's 23 thumbs up. Appreciate that as well, as it does help out with the algorithm and it helps everything out. I'm not really sure exactly how it helps out, as I don't dive into the matrices and all this inner workings, but I appreciate that. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to that as well, as I am counting down to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. I'm counting that down. As I started out today, I was like right around 170 short. Really would like to go ahead and knock that out of the park so I could buy myself a new pair of shoes. But anyway, whatever questions we got going down here for us. Andre Coleman is killing it so far on the recruiting trail. Without a doubt, all these guys really are. Banks is out there recruiting his guys. Bo is out there recruiting his guys. He was really close to a commitment on the D-line from Chris out there, North Shore defensive tackle that I was talking about earlier. He pushed his commitment back to March 23rd. Really liking what he's doing for us. Really want to see some commitments on the offensive line, as we all do. Money won't transfer. Andre Coleman is killing it so far. I coached against him in junior high. The final score: Kind Money 39, Lavelle 36. LOL. Yeah, what was he in high school? He was like a dual threat quarterback. I think I saw his recruiting profile. He was listed as a dual threat quarterback, like 160 pounds or something like that. Talking about money. I mean, good for him here in his scholarship. I just don't want to see him out there running whatever. It's time for us still to be competing and winning ball games. You know what I mean? And try to win in Big 12 titles against Big 12 Division I real defenses going against their ones. You know. He's not handcuffed by Herman. That's what everybody heard. That's what I heard as well. That Herman was handcuffing Coleman, not let him really go out and really reach out and offer early. Was waiting on the prestige of Texas, and I believe that's what really hurt us in a lot of these recruits, because Texas has been known to be offering late. Texas has been was known, by the previous staff led by Coach Herman, to waiting off for all these offers to get them excited up and ramped up for it. And really what all really did was piss them off that they weren't getting the offer that they wanted initially, and it really made them resent the fact that they didn't get the offer. I got to admit, I was keeping it home. Quarterback from Brownsville, St. Joe's. Right. See, yeah, talking about Kai Money. No, you weren't excited about keeping Coleman at first. I really wanted to keep Drayton, and I also wanted to keep Holzer, the linebackers coach as well. But he had to. He went. Your staff. You want who you want. And Coach PK, a defense coordinator, he wanted somebody else. He had his own guy. So our old linebackers coach, Coach Holzer, had to go. But I really did like what he was doing. Coach Holzer, old linebackers coach, really thought he was doing lots of positive things for us. Yeah, me too, Mark. As far as recruited, he was one of the key ingredients for getting Terrence Cooks, one of the biggest commits in all of the 21 class for us. If you don't know who Terrence Cooks is, sideline to sideline linebacker, coming out of Shadow Creek, the Houston area, Alvin, Texas area is the name of the city where he's from. Can play in space, can play traditional linebacker roles, as he's over 200 pounds, 215 pounds, but he's 6'3". But he can play in space and being that rangy cover sideline to sideline, and really what you need to get out of a linebacker for a Big 12 defense, because just passing the ball is just so rampant. Man, I liked Tyrone. I liked DC Ash as well. I liked what he was doing. I like the concept. The only thing that was questionable with Ash was the communication or lack thereof between the cornerbacks, the defensive backs, when to make a play on the ball, when to play the hand, when to play the hand, and when to play the ball, when to actually make a move. And because really most of the times it just looked like our guys were getting burnt. And it looked like they were in position. It looked like we had the athletes to be there who were big enough, strong enough, fast enough, react enough, well enough to these routes, and were in a good position enough to be there. They couldn't finish. And that was frustrating as hell. So I also wanted to keep Ash. What we're getting with Coach PK, if you look out there in the Pac-12 the past 3-4 years, you look at the numbers and the athletes that he put in, via Veda, defensive lineman, absolutely tearing it up. Others as well recently coming into as good defenders that are coming out of that university from a conference that is not known for producing many good quality defenders. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty good feather for Coach PK. So, and another thing that I really like about the Coach PK, and this is definitely going to be Baron Sorrell and our other late defensive line commit that we got, is his rush ends. He plays them standing up, and he also plays them in a 3-point stance. And he does this to confuse the offense, because everything that they have to look at, it's just the wrinkle. Everything the defense throws at the offense is just something the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, and thus the whole entire offense, has to do and think about and adjust to and focus on, and then therefore adjust what their main focus on in their overall game plan is. So everything that you can add, every little wrinkle that you can do, can always help you out. Something else that I found interesting about Coach PK's defense, our defensive coordinator that was the former defensive coordinator from the UW, University of Washington Huskies, was his defensive backs. I think he plays almost a positionless defensive back scheme. Like they weren't listed as a strong safety, free safety, cornerback. They all just said DB. Like it said Frank Sinatra, DB, instead of Frank Sinatra, cornerback, or nickelback, spurback. Like everything that we had that was so specific here. He almost had role-less football. You know what I mean? Like in basketball, how they have the five who can go out and dribble the ball. He can also shoot the three and work on the pick and roll and also play the defense. Kind of sort of that for versatility applied on the football field. Let's see. We got to Meech Sart 409. Horns up to you, sir. I feel like I'm the main recruiter in the Hullaby Anderson situation. But although Landon does like Oregon and Auburn, but our family is trying hard to get him to commit. All right, man. That's cool, man. So you know him. We very much appreciate that. Bring him home for us, man. Bring him home for us. We need safety products, safety prospects. And his brother is also already on the team. Would absolutely love to have him on the 40. Very much appreciate that inside information. You said your family is so we know the individual as well. It's awesome. Anything else you want to add to the story there, Mr. or Mrs. 409 on this 1 a.m. 1:15 on what is now a Friday morning? Holla at your boy for being here. Who else is doing a live stream about Texas football at 1 o'clock in the morning? But AK here on the Eyes on Texas channel here for y'all, man. Seriously. Who's here for y'all? As Evan Stewart landed on the right spot. He landed for the Texas Longhorns, our Texas Longhorns. Who else has a question for me? Who else has anything else they want to add, as it is getting kind of sort of late now? But Jaden Greathouse, I would very much love us to see pursue him. I would definitely love us to see, obviously, more of these offensive linemen. Definitely want to see more interest in there. But I do like the fact that Coach Kyle Flood ain't scared. He's not scared. He wants to go big game hunting. As we talked about Rice, the big offensive lineman out of the Virginia area. Talked about all the big time. DJ Campbell, the 5-star, not going to go through every single one of them, but going big game hunting. And if the big game isn't coming out of Texas, we're going outside of the borders and we're getting from outside of our state. And everybody else that's in state really shouldn't get butthurt, because those kids are going to Alabama, they're going to Oklahoma, they're going to Ohio State. So, yeah, I did, man. I did say so. They're going out of state. So the fact that they're going out of state and Texas is now going out of state, the Coaches Association, Texas High School Football Coaches Association, they can't in return get butthurt themselves. That Texas is going around its borders, outside of its borders, whenever its athletes are therefore, in fact, doing the same thing. Appreciate you coming on tonight. Yeah, you're welcome, G Field. You're welcome. Horns up to you, sir. And Max Snell says, the speedy German, as I call him, says, congratulations on predicting Stewart's commitment. You're welcome, man. I thought he would pop after the 17th, after the dead period was extended through May 31st. Because look, it's inevitable that it was going to get extended, and really, it's a liability issue. Because think about it: if these are your training facilities, if you're a coach and your coaching staff, where you have your 85 scholarship athletes, plus your other walk-ons, plus your other preferred walk-ins, your blue chips, red chips, whatever else hell they're called, right? If you have your 120 people that are on your staff, that are on your campus, that are your players, that are at your facilities, you're not necessarily going to want outsiders coming into your facilities. You're not maybe whatever you're recruiting, you want them there. They're still not part of your community. And whether you or whatever side of the fence you stand on the COVID, that is the liability. And the fact that that the dead period will be extended. That is the main reason why. It is the liability. So, but there is 37 of y'all in here, and every single 37 of you guys better be subscribers, because I really need to reach my goal of 1,000. I really want to reach it very, very soon, because I need those shoes, as I said. But who else we got here? Congratulations on predicting Stewart. The cost of living in Oregon is really high. That's why they should stay in Texas. LOL. Then, yeah, I don't understand paying state taxes like they do in California like that. That must be ridiculous. I don't know how many signs on travel vans I've seen, like trailers leaving, have been posted on social media saying that another taxpayer leaving the state of California. You know what I mean? So I just absolutely couldn't imagine paying all that much tax and tax and tax. Rich the Gamer says, appreciate you, brother. Horns up to you, sir. Yes, Landon's first cousin and I are married, and me and Bryce are neighbors. Cool, man, here in Beaumont, Texas, man. Cool, in the Houston area. That is where he be from. You predicted Murphy's commitment also. Yep, I did. I would like to see Cole and Thompson. You're talking about the big offensive guard from the Liberty in the Liberty area as well. We need all offensive linemen as well. I would love to see him as well. Speedy German, I agree with you. But I did predict Murphy's as well whenever he went on to visit campus, did his self-guided tour with his 7-on-7 coach. So the interest was real. And I talked about the interest being real. So Rich the Gamer just sub. Appreciate you, sir. Oregon has 0 sales tax, but high real estate taxes. Yeah, and in Texas, we also have our tax is pretty high whenever you buy a home. Our home tax could possibly be a little bit high. But whenever you live in Texas and you try to buy a home, it's because they just sold their house. So that was they sold it for $750,000, and you come to Texas, $50,000 will buy you a mansion in South Lake. Huh. I saw Dewberry is starting to trend with the offense to Texas. Yeah, a lot of them, they are starting to listen. It is a slow process. Some of them are going to be on the field, and some of them are going to be that we can. But Cam Dubernary, he's going to be one that, of course, also Jaden Blue from the Houston area is looking to go up as well. Man, Bobby Taylor, what do I think about him? I think Bobby Taylor is trolling us. That is what I think, straight up. I don't think Bobby Taylor is all interested at the University of Texas. I think he's trolling us. I don't think we're in his top 3 at all, because recently Bobby Taylor from Katy, Bobby Taylor Jr., who was dad Bobby Taylor Sr., played obviously in pros, I believe, for the Eagles. Great cornerback, but in his own right. But I think, and of course his son plays cornerback in Katy. But I think he's trolling us, man. To be honest with you, I think him and Harry Perkins down there in Cy-Fair are kind of sort of trolling us in that area, and are just gonna. I'm pretty confident that. Not quite sure about Taylor. He's probably Texas A&M bound as well. But again, to reiterate my point, I do believe that that Taylor is trolling us. What else? What other questions do you got? But man, I'm just so excited about getting Evan Stewart. You know what I mean? It's like seeing something, talking about something, like studying something, and then see come into fruition is pretty cool, man. So that's what kind of sort of happened here. Just chewing on some raisins fiesta here. It's one of these spicy, sweet little snacks here. Absolutely delicious. But those of you who have not seen the video on, I'm making a 3-part series on the entire class of 21. Making it 3 parts. I'm doing 7 commits. Signees in each video, and obviously thus being making 3 videos. I did drop my first one about 4 days ago. So awesome. Did a really good job. Took my time a little bit more on that as well. Those of you who don't know, I also do highlight videos, monologue videos as well. So I just did a video on all the signings in the 2021 class, and I do hope to get my second one, the second part of the second series out there about Saturday. So hopefully. I think you're saying Cole, meaning Coleman wanted to play with Malik. Coleman definitely wants to play with Malik. Whenever you said Cole, I thought you were talking about the offensive guard. But yeah, man, without a doubt, very excited that all these recruits are really starting to look our way. Really excited that everyone is starting to come Texas's way. Really excited that we're starting to make some headway. You know what I mean? It's obvious that we're starting to make some headway. It's obvious that we are starting to turn some heads and that people are starting to pay attention. I just don't want people to start talking that we're all back and stuff like that. That is not what we need to be talking about and focused about. What we need to talk about is just developing what we have on our current staff and our current players. We need to focus on having a great off season. We need to focus on having a great camp. We need to focus on who is going to be our QB1. So that's a great question, for everybody, is QB1 is definitely going to be a big time, prime time topic of what's going to be going on here at University of Texas. Coming down the pike, the whole entire year, I was a Hudson Card guy. I'm not going to lie, I was a Hudson Card guy. I thought that he would beat out Casey Thompson whenever the time came for it. And we all saw what Casey Thompson stepped up in the bowl game. He absolutely blew the doors off Colorado. You can say what you want about that defense, but blew the doors off of Colorado. Looked great. Showed his arm, his ability to throw and project the ball downfield with accuracy, something that Sam could not do over his 4 years on the 40. Obviously did not do. Casey Thompson absolutely balled out. So who's going to be QB1? Big time topic of interest. You know what I mean? Who is going to be QB1 for Texas? Is it going to be Casey Thompson? Is it going to be Hudson Card? You know what I mean? That's something that we're going to have to answer. Going to have to find out. That's something else that we're going to have to focus on. But we need to focus on in-house, and we need to focus on our brand. What our brand has now been focused on is everyone is now starting to listen to, and it's obvious that they're starting to listen to, and that evidence is being shown that we're getting the commitments from these top-rated athletes. So we got the Speedy German saying Williams needs to come in with Malik and commit for him. Herman played his favorites. Yeah, Tyrone, I heard that he did play his favorites as well, but it's kind of hard not to play your favorites. You do want open competition. It might be a bit natural to want to play your favorite because that your quote unquote favorite also might be the guy that you envision in your head running your scheme. So that's a little bit hard to say, but he was guilty of it more times than not with you. So I'm really not going to disagree with you on that. Tyrone talking about Herman playing his favorites. Talking about Herman, if you follow recruiting, just all this snarky negative stuff as far as him as a coach, all the crap that he tried to pull as a coach while on the recruiting trail, just really not knowing who he was as a human or how to act, i.e. showing up for meetings with coaches showing up to campuses late, and while showing up late, having a bad attitude, showing up, say now the meeting can start, the Texas coach is here, absolutely no self-awareness, and that sickens your stomach, going to when he went to the Brockermeyers home. Of course, Tommy's going to be a 5-star prospect, big time offensive tackle prospect, and offering him, of course, his younger brother, twin brother, excited the whole entire day. His coach talking to coach as well, didn't offer him a scholarship, gave him a POW, gave him a preferred walk-on. You're out there trying to get a 5-star tackle and you don't even give his brother, who ended up being a 4-star center, the best center prospect in the 2021 class, and you don't even offer his brother a scholarship. He's a legacy twin. Whole entire family went to Texas, and don't even offer the kid a scholarship. What kind of crap is that? That's why they went to Bama. That's what pissed off the Brockameyers. I mean, what if that was you? Wouldn't that piss you off? You've been talking to someone, been talking to university, been talking to a staff, a coaching staff, individuals for months. They come down, they come to your house to visit you and your brother. They offer your twin brother. They don't offer you a scholarship. They give you preferred walk-on. They give you that smack on the face on the way out. Fuck that. That's why they left. That's part of the. Really can't look. Really should be eating and talking to y'all. Very much apologize, but all that stuff is now coming to an end, and it is all the positive things that we're hearing about Coach Sarkisian when he came on to the Texas, saying how talking positively about his incumbent not staff, his players, talking positively about his players and all the talent he had on the roster, so the other coaches didn't do. Talking to the Texas High School Football Association with their meetings, sitting down, talking with them in person and over Zoom calls. Big time stuff, man. It's the little things. And as you know, Texas has run high school football, and that high school football is in fact run a lot intact by Texas high school football coaches. They're the ones with their hands on the kids. They're the ones with their ears on the kids, talking to the kids day in and day out. They're the ones that they respect. If you go in, get blackballed on the black list, get a bad reputation, and not performing, that's going to get you out, man. That's going to get you on the out. And that's going to get you on bad list, and that's going to get you a bad rep. That's why Sarkisian has to face negative recruiting on two sides. He has to face the negative recruiting about his past demons dealing with alcohol, and he has to deal with the past demons of negative recruiting from Coach Herman. Every head coach place has his favorites. That's why he's the head coach. Exactly. If you look at the statistic from last year, Sweat was about as good, a little bit better than Colburn, but who starts? Yeah, they've been both, but they also got, what was their snap differentials? You know what I mean? They both saw the kind of sort of the same amount of snaps. I don't see much drop offs between those two either. I see them both as 1A and 1B. I don't see much more different as a player, as a prospect. The biggest standout defensive lineman we have, in my opinion, on the 40 right now, that played for us is Alfred Collins. He's the beast. He's probably our biggest NFL prospect on the team. Bigger NFL prospect than Bijan for sure, just based on the position that Bijan plays. Being the fact he's a running back. And there might be 1-2 running backs taken in the first round of the NFL, and there's going to be 3 defensive tackles taken the first round of the NFL every single year, and that's the position that Collins plays. So from transcending players on our staff currently, I would definitely have to say Alfred Collins, number 1 as far as NFL prospects, but the most important prospect, the most important player on the Longhorns team, according to me, my personal opinion, is going to be DeMarvion Overshawn. The 5-star recruit came in as a safety, developed into a linebacker, didn't play very much as a freshman, hurt a little bit as a sophomore, of course, obviously not much production as a sophomore, played very well this past year, gets an extra year of eligibility, didn't decide to go to the draft this year, and that this year will have a breakout performance in my estimation, and again is the most important Longhorn in my view, as we can start to end the narrative that Texas, where talent goes to die, Texas cannot develop talent. As we get this 5-star product, this 5-star recruit coming in, didn't have his way initially, and it happens, and recruits know that. And they understand that. Not everybody hits the field running and gets that PT right off the bat. Not everyone becomes a 1,000-yard rusher. Bijan didn't have 1,000 yards, but everybody knows exactly, sees that talent. Everybody sees that transcending talent. And that's what you need to come out, and that's what you need to happen out of it. Manu didn't start for the Spurs. It's not who starts, it's who finishes. Yeah, in basketball, they have like the 6-man coming off the bench. You know, they like to have that electric score to help give them a boost whenever the first team's kind of sort of starting to get tired, when they're start to trending down. They bring in that 6 men to help boost the morale, boost up the energy, score some points, fill some buckets. I agree with you, demand. Yeah. Thanks, Tyrone. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Alfred Collins. I think that he is a transcending player for Texas. I think it's big. It'll be big for us come draft time. If Osai and Cosme go in the first round, it'll be big for us. They're definitely poised. What I've seen is some have them poised to go late first, and some have them going early second. So if they go early second, that would be good. But I would love to see those guys go into the end of the first round, tail end of the first round. I saw one where I saw Cosme to Chicago, and I saw one where it had Joseph Tsai going to Pittsburgh. And of course, he's a Cowboys fan. Pittsburgh test the Pittsburgh. So I would not like to see my boy Joseph Osai. It would be hard for me to buy that Joseph Osai jersey if he would be a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. JM792. Is that liquor? What's your name from, JM792? What's that derived from? Is it from that liquor? Anyways, his question is, I hope Foster and Cook remain their confidence regarding the guys. We'll still treat them without a doubt. BJ Foster, the hard-hitting safety, definitely. They need their confidence. Of course, Cook's kind of sort of playing that nickelback, that spur role here for Texas as well. But definitely need all of our defenders, everybody, to keep up their confidence. And like I said, especially with our defensive backs last year, to me, it looked like they were in the position to make the play. They just didn't make it. It looked like they were confused whether to play the ball or to play the hands, and instead they did nothing, and they just let the man catch it whenever they were almost in their hip pocket. And sometimes they got burnt, obviously. That explosive wide receiver for Texas Tech comes to mind, but everybody gets burnt. But it was just frustrating to see Texas be there in the hip pocket and not be able to make the play in and play out. 2-3 times a game, it's all right. Not play in and play out, but we can easily say 2 to 3 times a game. I think that we could all agree that we saw plays being made, catches being made over our defenders whenever we were in the ability to make a play. Why did Sark – here's a question. Why did Sark bring the Bama line coach and not go after the Brock twins? If he asked how they would like to come, they were going to offer the offensive O-line. All right. So I guess his question is, why didn't Sark and Coach Kyle Flood bring the Brockenmeyers to Texas? Well, my answer to this is I'm sure he tried. Once it was made, once the coaching decision was made and he was signed on, they were already signed. No, they weren't. No, they weren't already signed. But to overall answer the question, why he – damn it, were they not? Yeah, they were already signed. At that point they were already signed. And in fact, not only were they already signed, is whenever they put up what their people were asking about them as far as, are they standing hold? Are they standing firm with their commitment? They posted a picture of them, of the twins, and I believe their father, all wearing Alabama gear and an Alabama backdrop. You know what I mean? To kind of sort of answer the same kind of sort of question, similar to Quinn Ewers did. Is he standing firm once Coach Sark became as the head coach? Whenever he kind of inadvertently answered that question by putting the deer wearing the Ohio State Buck hats. I think that's kind of sort of the same thing. He was already signed, he was already linked in, he was already inked in, and they had already made that move. They had already made the commitment and the signature to Alabama. So that's the reason why Sark didn't go after all of them. Now, what you are seeing with the class of 22 is the guys that they were in talking with in the class of 22. They're getting those guys. They're reestablishing those lines of communication. So, like when I'm reading and I'm speaking about these recruits, how many times I've read is, oh, I was communicating with Sark, or whenever he was in Alabama, or oh, I know Coach Banks since he was at Alabama. We're real tight. Those kind of sort of things. So they have been keeping up those lines of communication, really with the 22 guys, but really to have an impact with a lot of the 21 guys, to get them to come over from Bama, that's difficult. The only thing they really did kick was Samar Wheaton, and he was the only thing he might have been interested was Oklahoma. Really wasn't interested in Alabama at all. And Samar Wheaton really wasn't interested in the recruiting process. So once he made that commitment and made that signature with the Crimson Tide, he was pretty well set in. But so the overall, why did Texas go after a lot of Alabama's commitments in the 21 class? They were already signed. Yeah, and they had already enrolled too. Yeah. So I mean, that's so the fact that they were already they were going to campus. They were going to their dorms whenever Coach Sark was being announced as the head coach. So the timing wasn't there. So the question kind of sort of threw me off there. But that mounted buck was dead. I do not get it. What, you talking about, Quinn Ewers? I mean, I just take it as lots of people in Texas, we have a lot of stuffed deers on our wall. I'm not one, I'm not a big hunter myself, but to walk into someone's house and see a stuffed animal on someone's house isn't a rarity. So I don't think he went out and purchased one to get it stuffed, to get it, put that one hat on it. I don't think that was the intent. That was probably just already in his house, and he just put the hat on and just snapped the picture. Thought it proved the point, and it did. You know what I mean? I mean, that's all I think it is. I just think it's just a quiet meme, a quiet message to say I'm firm with my commitment to the Buckeyes. Thank you, and I respect it. Once they sign the letter of intent and Sark took the Ichi job, they can't talk to them. Oh wow! I didn't know that. Kind of like what's that clause? No compete clause. Like whenever you're in business, you have to sign a no compete clause for a year. No compete clause for a year, and a lot of times. So I guess there was something similar to that. I guess maybe. Woo! But big time news coming down for Texas fans, guys. I am excited about it. I'm excited about tomorrow. Got to finish up on my video that I have, my second volume of the 2021 recruiting class. Definitely, obviously, going to have to make something about Evan Stewart. I had an idea about Evan Stewart. I'm definitely going to do it now, as I'm going to link up the video, the Scots, with Evan Stewart. So if that's something that y'all are interested in, Kid Scott, I don't know if you're interested in that kind of sort of music, but the Scots, if you're interested in that, I'm gonna link that up with the video and Evan Stewart's highlights. That's something that I've been thinking about doing, without a doubt. So some of these people go on about Ewers like a guy who can't get over their ex-girlfriend. Man, and I follow this recruiting scene, and this Quinn Ewers question Quinn Ewers gets asked every single time. And I get it, man. I get it. That's fine. He is the biggest name. I live in the DFW Metroplex, and South Lake is one of the towns next to me. I get it, man. He is the biggest name. He is the #1 overall recruit, and he's the name that everybody knows. You know what I mean? Remember back in the day, whenever golf was on and the Masters was on, or whatever golf tournament was on. I do not like golf, but someone would walk up and there'd be 20 guys, sitting around the TV. One guy would walk up, "How's Tiger doing? How's Tiger doing?" I think that's kind of sort of the Quinn Ewers question. They all know Quinn Ewers, so they all know to ask that question. So I guess that's the "How's Tiger doing?" Mr. 512 in the Austin area, obviously, horns up to you, sir. Haven't seen you in the live chat rooms before, so if you have not subscribed, please do so. I do produce college football content. I do like to do live streams as well, and highlights as well. If you're interested in that, you should go check out my latest videos, 3-part series that I'm dropping about the Texas complete class of 21 commits, 3-part volume series. It's very, very cool. One accurate sign, he's off. Once a recruit signs off, he is off limits for coach unless he enters the portal. Okay, right on. All right, Mr. 12, got you, brother. Cool, man, very cool. What other questions, comments, queries, man? We do have 35 people up in here still. Very much want to keep this going, as I'm really not all that ready to go yet, because I'm very excited about having this guy. I'm very excited about talking football with you again with my second live stream in the one night. Because, man, once we got Evan Stewart, I just had to get back and start talking about everybody else and start talking about that 5-star core beat. Is that everybody's also bagging Malik Murphy, saying that he hasn't really played any football. He's only passed the ball 61 times wearing a helmet and pads. His completion percentage is 49.5 or whatever it is. It is below 50%. That's whenever he was a sophomore film, and whenever he was hurt. He is a camp guy, most definitely is. Vast majority of his film is 7-on-7. But what you do have to understand, what about the 7-on-7 and these campsites, it is iron sharpening iron. So whenever Malik Murphy's throwing to a wide receiver, he's throwing to one of the best wide receivers in the country. He's throwing to a country who's then being guarded by who? A top-rated cornerback, a top-rated defender, a top-rated safety, who's going to go somewhere to a major 5 power program and make a splash on the collegiate scene himself. So, yes, he is a camp guy. Yes, he is a 7-on-7 guy. Yes, he doesn't have any defenders running down his throat. That is a definitely tangible and viable 100% thing to say about him. But what you also need to add, what you also need to consider is that he is throwing to top talent, and he is having top talent being evaluated around him, right? And the arm does not lie. The howitzer does not lie. He just released a video today. And which was the most impressive thing about it was that I'm not comparing him to this quarterback. I'm not comparing him to this pro-style quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. But what I do like about Patrick Mahomes is the arm angle, the arm trajectory. And when you look at this film that Malik did post out, he did put out. I don't know if he did put out today, but I saw it today. So it might be a used car that's new to me, but I did see that arm angle, and I did see that arm angle at multiple different angles, throwing it on a rope, and that's something that necessarily can't be taught. That's one of the things that I definitely do like about Murphy. But he is a 7-on-7 guy. He has most majority of his film has been that. I can't deny that. So the biggest argument is that he hasn't had any D tackles pressuring him while he's trying to make these decisions and trying to make these throws. That is definitely a truth. He is, as someone just said, it reminds him of Steve McNair. He is nicknamed Baby Cam. I don't think his game very much translates to Cam Newton. I just think that's more based on size and ethnicity. I just think it's just the fact that he is a very large individual and very comparable to Cam Newton in that regard. But as regard as his being ability to be an athlete and be moved and be a dual threat and make plays and be elusive with his feet, I don't know if we're going to see that shown very much on the 40. So it is very, very important to get offensive line, which we've been extensively talking about during this live stream as well, as offensive line is crucial to get in this class. Because in the 2021 class, the highest rated offensive lineman we had was 3-star Hayden Connor, and he was rated a 4-star who went down in the rankings his senior year. The only other lineman that we ended up getting was Max Merrill from Jesuit in the Houston area as well, and he is more viewed as a project lineman as well. Yeah, so the question is, MR, this is a good question. Isn't Murphy going to play some games in the spring? So there has been talk about they're supposed to play sometime in March. I'm not quite sure of the dates, and that is the issue. Is I'm not sure if everything has been hammered down to 100% and all the dates and all the events and all the games are tangible. But with that being said, I've heard them talk about maybe possibly playing like 5 games. But that'd be cool though, right? Like we could, get to see our commit 6 games. All right, cool. Sorry, excuse me, 6 games. That would be really cool, to see our guy play, because all the attention and all the focus will be on him, because our Texas high school football will be going on because our kids would have already played. But it don't matter what he is ranked with the people who evaluated. Everyone who evaluated has seen him do it, has said it for 100 years. The system they use is what I mean on it. Right. Yes. Yeah. That's what you're saying. So as far as so Tyrone, what he's trying to say is that the camp skills are applicable. The camp skills are applicable. The 7-on-7 and skills are applicable. And I agree with that. Just what he was saying. Those same evaluators evaluate the same kids, and they see this individual as being a 5-star player, as being a pro-style 5-star quarterback with not much film on him. And just like how I was saying earlier about Kevin with the 7-on-7 and camp series, it's iron on iron, sharpening each other. So it's best cornerbacks going up against the best wide receivers, and thus the best quarterbacks throwing to him. And he's showing off the arm. He's working with the trainers, and this is what they're seeing. This is what this evaluators are seeing. And they do grade on upside, and they grade on the stars are given out with the 32 first-round draft picks on the NFL. Hence, that's why there's 32 5-stars every single year. That's why some years they're like, oh, well, this year we have 37 5-stars, and last year we had 34. It's because the 2022 class is more talented. No, it's not that way. There's always 32 stars. There's always 32 5-stars because there's always 32 NFL football teams, which represents a first-round draft pick. Woo! You didn't ever answer my question, JM1792. Is your name based on the liquor? I would like to know the answer to that question. But it's really not that big a deal. It sounds like I'm just about to end this one up. If anybody else has any other questions they would like to talk about, I do produce college football content every single day of the week, pretty much. If you can look at the backdrop, big time Texas fan. I do also like to produce Texas high school football content. I do follow closely to them. because that's where all the recruits come from, right? They come from local Texas high school football. And in fact, I do talk about college football in general. If anything like that kind of sort of interests you, please drop a like. Please share it amongst your friends. But more importantly, subscribe to the dang channel yourself. As it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're watching the live stream. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so already. But if you would go ahead, like to drop a comment, anything else, any other questions that I could possibly get for you guys. I do possibly see some more commitments coming down the pike. We did speak about Hullaby, possibly the Beaumont safety as another possibility coming down. It is pick your own spot time for take your own spot time for wide receivers. I do believe that will take possibly 5. My list, obviously, we're going to have in that class my number 1 guy. We already sealed up today. Is going to be Evan Stewart. We have Armani Winfield on there as well. CJ Williams, Brennan Thompson. Would love to see that as my top 4, and with Coleman as another take in the skill position. I would love to see another great running back paired up with Blue. The guy that I was looking at was going to be Zach Evans. That name sounds familiar because it's Zach Evans was going to be a 5-star running back from North Shore who ended up being from TCU. But the Zach Evans I'm talking about now is going to be a prospect, I believe, from Rockwell Heath, 5'9", all-purpose back. And what I like about him is he does pair up well, I feel, with our number 1, with our lead dog, with our lead runner in the class of 2022, Jaden Blue, as with he gets the majority of the carries whenever it is time for their time both to be on the 40. Zach Evans would just get his 6 to 7 carries of the ball and his 5 receptions out of the backfield or in the slot, giving him about 12 touches a game, which is really what you're really looking to get. And what you're talking about now, Mister, is those dominoes. It does look like it is, and it is starting to fall in Texas's favor. And the main reason for that is going to be what the recruits saw on the field, the excitement of Coach Sark, the ability for the staff to recruit, and now with the dead zone, the dead period be extended through May 1st. A lot of these recruits are realizing that they're not going to be able to make these campus visits to other universities. They're not going to be able to go to Eugene, Oregon. They're not going to be able to go to Clemson, North Carolina. They're not going to be able to go to these big-time programs. So they might stick with their original choice and not really think about broadening their horizons. But you can take that with what you will. Anybody else has anything else to say? This is pretty much going to be the end for me again. As it is to hook them up for everybody that's still in the live stream here for you guys. Hook them up. Appreciate everybody being here. I do try to produce. I don't say anymore, guys. I'm real tired. It's 1:42 o'clock in the morning. Appreciate everybody here. I do like to close out by saying, keep your head in a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Hook them up. Appreciate it, guys. Very much appreciate y'all being here, man. Thank you. Thank you very much.